Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nothing to It But to Do It. Now, in this episode, I'm going to take y'all back a little bit because I live in Arizona, but I grew up in Georgia, a little rural town in Georgia. And one of my fondest memories of me and my cousin Charles getting out there in that mud and digging up some crawdads. Now, some of y'all might know crawdads as crawfish, crayfish, mud bugs. We call them crawdads. And me and my cousin Charles, we dig up a mess of them things, and we go to either my mama's house or his mama's house, and we steal one of their pots. And we would go up and build ourselves a fire with some water in that pot, and we'd throw a mess of them crawdads off in there and boil them up and have ourselves a nice crawdad snack. Now, being in Arizona right now, y'all, it's hot. I mean, it's down in southern Arizona, it's 119 degrees. So I decided to get my butt up and come up here to the north to a place called Greer, Arizona. And Greer, Arizona is known for good trout fishing. It's also known for great food, and it's known for cool weather. Another thing that is in Greer, Arizona that a lot of people don't know about is, folks, it's got great crawdad fishing. And I mean, they got some big ones up in here. So I decided to come up here and go crawdad fishing. Now, I ain't gonna dig in the mud like me and my cousin Charles used to do. Oh no. I built my own trap. Now, this crawdad trap that I built, I didn't want to go down there to the store and get them little old crawdad traps that they had. Like I said, Greer, Arizona has some big ones in that pond. So I'm going to go out there with this crawdad trap to catch the big ones. Now, I'm going to be fishing for bait. I'm going to be using cat food, at least to start out. And I'm going to be using this cat food that is a salmon type cat food. And all I'm going to do is open up the top a little bit to allow the scent to get out. And that's going to attract the crawdads. Now, the other thing about this is when you're fishing in Arizona and you're fishing for crawdads, you got to have a fishing license. So that's what I have attached here. So when you're throwing your net out there and you're throwing your trap out, you need to have that so the game warden, somebody comes by, fish, Arizona Game and Fish, they can identify your trap and know that you're legally fishing for them. Now, crawdads are an invasive species out here. So if you don't eat crawdads, when you catch them, the Arizona Fish and Game would like you to just kill them because they are devastating on the fish habitat out here. Mainly the salmon, they eat the salmon eggs up, they eat the vegetation up and everything, stuff like that. Well, I'm gonna try to put a dent in them jokers today because I ain't gonna let none of mine go, and I'm eating every last one of them jokers that I catch. So stay tuned for this episode and watch me catch some of these crawdads. So I've made it out to the lakeside, guys. I'm over here at the Tunnel Reservoir, which is one of the 3 lakes that are out here at Greer. And I mean, you can tell it's very beautiful, nice wind, calm breeze blowing. I'm going to be going over there to actually put out my net. I like to come over here because it's not sparse, it's not populated by a lot of people. They normally go to the other lake. And when you're throwing out your trap, if you leave it, you got to worry about the kids coming in, maybe pulling it up, and it's not their fault. I mean, kids are going to be curious, so I don't get mad about that. But if I'm over there, I have less chance of that happening. So I'm going to be heading over that way, and then we're going to throw these pots out and see what throw this trap out and see what I get. Now I'm at the spot that I'm going to be fishing in, and I want to show you guys. What I'm going to be. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, that is what it was. That's what's laying up on the bank. So I'm going to be throwing out my net, and as y'all can see, I brought my rod because any guy who was born and raised in Georgia that get around a body of water and ain't got a fishing pole, that's simple. So I'm gonna be trout fishing while I'm here too, but the main goal is to catch crawdads. Let's do this. All right, let's give this guy a whirl and see what we get. Yep, totally underwater. That's where we're gonna have it. We're gonna sit there, and I'm gonna do a little trout fishing while we're waiting to give this guy a couple of hours to see what we get. As you guys can see, I'm not at the lake. I'm actually back at the cabin. If you can hear that thunder off to the side, the clouds came in really quick, So I had to take off really fast because I ain't about being in no thunder and lightning out on the side of a lake. I left the crawdad trap out there, and we're actually I'm still fishing for the crawdads. I got my string in my trap in the line. So after this storm's ends, I'm gonna go back out and let's see what we got. Hey y'all, I'm back. This is another day. I was gonna go out and get those traps after that storm, but after the storm got finished, it was kind of late, and it was cold, and I had already got settled down. So I decided to go ahead and let that crawdad pot soak for the whole night. Now the problem with that is that it's been out there a long time with only one can of cat food. So I'm hoping that they didn't eat all of the cat food and then leave out of the trap. Hopefully they ate some of the cat food and decided, you know what, we'll take a rest in here just in case some more food comes back. I'm getting ready to go out there and check those traps, and let's hope there's something there. And like I said, folks, if there's some crawdads in there, there's some big ones. Oh yeah, we got a heap of them, folks. Look up in there, look up in there. See what I told you? Now I'm finna show y'all what we got. And look at these crawdads, look at the size of these things up in here. Now I'm finna show y'all what I'm talking about. And looks like they did eat all the food. So some of them might have got out, but there's still enough for a little snack. And then this time I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna restock this with bacon and see what we get with the bacon. I'm gonna show you what this looks like. I mean, any one of these guys are big, but there's some, folks, there's some big ones up in here. And I'm actually gonna put them in a plastic bag to take back. Some of them sitting at the door. Don't worry, I'm gonna give them what they came there for. Now look at these jokers. I mean, look at this. This ain't even the biggest one. This is not even the biggest one, folks. And look at the size of that joker right there. Yeah, that's gonna be some good eating today. There's 2 of them in there. Let's see how many we got all together. Get these before they start heading toward that water. They're going. 12. Let me show you this one right here, guys. Look at the size of this joker right there. Now that's a crawdad right there if you ever seen one. That's number 13. Unlucky for you, but lucky for me. 14. 14 so far. See how many more we got up in here. Even 2 dozen crawdads right there, folks. So as you can see, like I said, there's some big ones in here. So these 24 in here, I'm gonna take back home, save these up, put some in here with this bacon and see what we get with those, and I'll come back out. But this is a good start, especially leaving them overnight. A lot of them, they ate up all the food, so I'm gonna replace that with bacon and see what we get, replacing it with the bacon. So this guy's getting ready to start to come to a boil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own little crab boil. The one I'm going to use, the main thing I'm going to use for this is Slap Your Mama. But I like to also use that Tony Roma's Cajun seasoning. I just didn't bring that with me. But I'm going to put some of that Slap Your Mama in here. Now, that's going to give it a little bit of the salty flavor to it. I'm also going to add in here some cayenne pepper. Going to add some garlic pepper. And if you notice, guys, y'all notice I'm not measuring it. I don't do that stuff. I just put it in there. I just feel for it and to make sure I got the flavors in there, and that's what I do. But I'm pretty sure you can find a good recipe online for how to make your own crab boil. But this is some garlic powder I'm putting in here. A little bit of chili powder, not much, just a little bit of chili powder. A little bit of black pepper. And, because I like my stuff spicy, I'm going to add some Tabasco sauce in there too. When that comes up to the boil, that's going to basically have me a nice little crab seasoning. Nice little crawdad seasoning that I can have in there, putting these crawdads in there. So we're going to bring this guy up to a boil, and then we're going to put those crawdads in. Okay, so we got the boil going, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting these guys in. Since I only have a couple of dozen, I don't have to go get a big bag or anything and drop them in there. So I'm just going to put them in there one by one.
Now, while I'm putting these in there, one of the things I want to bring up is that when I was putting water on the crawdads to clean them off, I also added salt to it. And what salt helps to do is the crawdads then purge out any of the impurities they have inside themselves. So when you're eating them, there's not that much to clean. So I did that as well as adding ice to the water.
And because, like I said, I cooled them down, they're not going to have much activity because once I put them in that ice water, it slowed their metabolism down. Now that I got these back in here and I got these back up to a boil, I'm going to let them boil for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. They'll start to turn red, and then you'll start to see them kind of floating. When you see that, then you know they're about done. Now, a lot of times when I do cook big things of crawdads, I throw in the corn and the sausage and the potatoes and all that. But I'm not doing that. I'm just getting enough for me to snack on. And I just wanted to show you guys how I go about cleaning them and cooking them and eating them. So we're going to let these guys boil for a little bit, and I'm going to come back to you when I'm getting ready to take them out and get ready to eat them. Okay, so I've let these guys boil, and I've let them soak for a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and transfer them over and get these guys ready to eat. Yep, that should make a nice little meal for me. So let's get to it. Look at the claws on this crawdad. Man, I'm telling you, this is what I'm telling you. This is what Greer has, folks. So if you like crawdad fishing, come on up here to Greer and get you a taste of it.
This is how I eat my crawdads. You know, I separate the head from the tail. Sometimes I suck the head, but this time I'm going to pass on that one. And I take off the back end of that tail from that shell, slide it off, and now I can grab the meat right there, and I can pull the rest of the meat from the shell. It should come right off. Now, after I do that, you'll notice that I'll have a top that I pull off of that, and it just pulls off, and you can see that vein. I take that vein out, and once I take that vein out right there, folks, ain't nothing but some clean crawdad eating. I'm finna get on it. Good eating, folks.
Okay, people, I got to share one more thing with you. This is something that you can't do with a lot of crawdads, that you can do with the crawdads up here in Greer, Arizona. This, folks, is the actual claw of a crawdad out here in Greer, Arizona. You can't do this with a lot of crawdads. You can't. But up here, you actually can get meat, folks, out of the claw of the crawdad. Seeing is believing. I want y'all to watch this. I want y'all to actually see this. This is out of the claw of the crawdad. Understand, this is not the tail, folks. This is the claw. This is the actual claw of the crawdad. That's the kind of crawdads and the size of the crawdads that you're getting up here in Greer, Arizona. I can't make this up, folks. I can't make it up.
As you can see, I didn't make it out to the trap that day. Time got away from me. So once again, I'm out the very next day pulling in the trap. And let's see what happens.
Well, folks, just what I thought that could happen did happen. So they ate all the bait, and a couple of unlucky guys decided to stick around and wait for another snack. So it's going to be unfortunate for them, but that's the thing about when you're baiting these. I knew when I put it on the hook, I was giving the crawdads an opportunity to kind of run off with the bait. So I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out. Don't trust me. I'm going to eat these little guys, but there's like 4 of them, and I'm going to get these guys out and take them back. But I'm not disappointed. You know, you guys got to see what it was like to catch those big old crawfish. And like I said, there's some big ones in here even right now out of these 4. None of them are small. I'm going to keep them, take them back up to the house, boil them up real good. I'm not going to do another catch and clean. You guys saw how I did it yesterday. But I enjoy you guys being out here with me and enjoying this nice time. I'm getting ready to head back down into Phoenix to that hot sun. But, you know, if you like this one, give me a thumbs up button, subscribe on it. I'm going to be trying to bring you guys more stuff. And like I said, I wanted to come up here and I wanted to do some crawdad fishing, folks. And there wasn't nothing to it but to do it.